Hey guys, this is Comic Uno, and today I'm doing a review for Doomsday Clock. So yes, I have two reviews for a comic. I think this is the first time I've ever done this. So on Monday, when the embargo was lifted, I did do a review for Doomsday Clock issue 1, and that was an advanced review. So I could not talk about spoilers, I didn't talk about spoilers, so now that the issue is officially released, I wanted to really go in depth and talk about this book. Now, also what I said in my advanced review, I want to preface this review by saying I love Watchmen. It's one of my favorite comics. I've read it many times, and I've done even like college papers on it, so I really love the story, and I was very excited to see what Geoff Johns would do with this book. So let's start talking about it. Just, you know, did I like this book or not? Yes, I really enjoyed it. You know, I want to say this because, again, I kind of said these thoughts in my advanced review, so I don't want to, you know, repeat the same thing, but I really enjoyed this book, and I think if you enjoy Watchmen, then you're going to enjoy this. But also, it's its own thing. It doesn't feel like it's copying Watchmen. It feels like it's embracing it, and there's definitely a big difference between that. Now, let's start talking about the spoiler aspects of this book. So, first thing is Rorschach. Rorschach's a bit different here. He is a different person, which was really cool. I like that twist in the book where we find out that it's not the actual Rorschach, but this is, you know, the new Rorschach, and he believes. He's like, no, I am Rorschach. And that he's teaming up with Ozymandias. Like, how did that happen? You know, we obviously have a big gap of time, and you want to see how these relationships formed and who's left. There's even this mystery of, like, is Night Owl and Silk Spectra, you know, still alive or not? So there's definitely interesting mystery with just the mythos of Watchmen and what's actually happened. Like I said in my advanced review, there is some exposition just to show you, like, this is where the world is, this is how the world is pretty much ending, and how we ended up in the gutter pretty much. So, you know, there is exposition in that, which was a bit slower, but again, needed, because you need to understand what happened with this world, and what type of world Doomsday Clock is in. But yeah, I really enjoyed seeing Rorschach. Just again, I love his dialogue, and I really think Geoff Johns was able to embrace the brilliant monologues that Alan Moore had for Rorschach and really revigorate them with Doomsday Clock, which was nice. But one aspect I really liked about this issue were the two new characters, and I kept looking it up on, like, you know, on the internet to make sure that these are new characters, but from the names that were given, they seem like new characters, and it's this woman who is in prison, and Rorschach's like, we need you, and she's like, oh, well, I don't want to go. And then she gets a picture of her son, and she's like, where's my son, where's my son? Alright, I'll go, but I need my husband. And her husband's like this mime-type character, he can't talk, he has like invisible weapons, and they leave, and Rorschach needs them for some reason, but who are these people? And that's kind of a cool mystery of finding out who they are, if they're truly new characters, or if they're like hiding and being, you know, DC characters or Watchmen characters. So I thought that was cool. Kind of this unknown element, and they're a very interesting dynamic, and Johns has a really great voice for both of them. And especially with Gary Frank's motions of the husband, because he doesn't talk in the book, but just seeing him like using the pretend gun was pretty interesting in the issue. So I like that dynamic that was already formed in this issue, and obviously how that the couple doesn't trust Rorschach or Ozymandias, but and also are, you know, kind of evil, because you're like, oh, you know, maybe we'll just shoot you, though we get the money. And they're like, no, you'll probably get more money if you stay with us, and also, we have your son, so try to team up with us. So it's cool that they're kind of also our eyes, where they go into the cave and like, oh, Night Owl's dead, right? And Silk Spectra is dead, because I believe it was Rorschach, the original Rorschach that killed them. And they're like, no, they're not dead. So it's interesting to like kind of find those elements through the new characters. I thought that was cool. And their journey and the mystery is finding God, which we obviously know is Dr. Manhattan. We don't know where he is, and that's kind of part of the mystery. And then what's a cool transition is seeing that scene talking about Dr. Manhattan transitioning to Superman, going into the DC universe, finally, you know, getting DC Comics and Watchmen. Well, not finally, because we kind of gotten it with the button in other aspects, but getting to see Superman in the book, and I loved it. You know, Superman sleeping next to Lois, he has this dream about his parents and how they died, and he has a nightmare, and Lois is like, oh, I don't really remember the last time you had a nightmare, and Clark's like, I never have. And it goes back to that brilliant dialogue that Jeff Johns has in the issue saying, you know, we broke the American dream, this is the American nightmare. And, you know, obviously Watchmen's always was a discussion about America. Yeah, it's cool to kind of see that in this book too, because, you know, superheroes in general in comics are very much a commentary on our society. So it's cool to now see it with DC Comics and seeing it with Superman mixing with Watchmen. I think it's brilliant. So yeah, there's some awesome moments here. I'm glad I was able to kind of go in depth and talk about those moments. But let me know in the comments below, what did you enjoy about the book? Did you like the book? For me, I gave this 4.5 stars. I thought it was a really well done start here, and it's definitely a book you could read multiple times and get different meanings from, and those are the books I love the most, especially books related to Watchmen, because that's a book you read and you kind of get different interpretations as you read more. So let me know in the comments below, what do you think? This is Comic Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Don't forget to like my Facebook page. Also, description below, there are links to my comic book, Like Father, Like Daughter. And don't forget to like the Facebook page of Like Father, Like Daughter. And I'll see you guys later.